But the more success that we've achieved, the more unhinged the radical left has become. Anarchists and violent mobs have rioted in our Democrat-run cities, attacking our police and tearing down statues. And as you know, I signed a clause. I got an old bill, you know, when they used to do powerful things, when they knew what the hell they were doing. I took an old bill and I gave a nice, beautiful, brand new executive order. It says very easily, could you imagine getting this today? You rip down a statue, a federal statue, you go to jail, prison, they use the term prison, you go to prison for 10 years. Stop. And I remember there was a big march on Washington. They were coming in to knock a lot of statues down. And they even had Thomas Jefferson planned. That was in their planning. No thanks. George Washington. They were even thinking about Lincoln. You know, Lincoln did sort of a pretty good job, right? But they were talking about anybody. I don't even know if they knew what they were doing. They're just wild and out of control. But I signed this, 10 years in prison if you knock down a statue. We have people right now in jail that are going to trial, by the way, and that was from previous to signing it. But if you remember, that was a big thing 2.5 months ago. You know when I signed it? 2.5 months ago. 2.5 months ago I signed it. We haven't had a problem since. They say, you know, we want to knock down that statue, but you know, 10 years, let's see, 10 years, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. Which tells you that, you know, laws, if properly utilized, can stop all of this madness. And that's why we have to give our great police back their dignity and their power. I've been endorsed by almost every police organization in the country. We just got the other day, Pat Lynch, the head of New York City Police, endorsed me. First endorsement, he said, to the best of his knowledge, which is a lot of knowledge, the first time they've ever endorsed a candidate for president. That's good. They don't endorse. The first time ever. All the sheriffs in Florida. Dan can tell you all of the law enforcement in Texas, right? All of the law enforcement in Texas, Dan, so it's good. And just about everywhere we have tremendous support. And you're always going to have bad apples, by the way. You got some bad apples, and you're going to have it probably in this room. We might have one or two, but you have bad apples. But these are great people that do a phenomenal job that actually are appreciated by the public. By the public, they're appreciated, and they're loved, and they're respected. And the public doesn't want to happen what's happening to our police. They took away their dignity. They took away their right to do the job that they want to do. And they're doing the job now. And for me, they do the job. And you look at most cities in our country, you know, crime is actually down. You look at Chicago and you say, how's that possible? You look at New York, what's happened just in a short period of time. But we're with them and they're with us, and they've done a fantastic job, right? So the future of our country, and indeed our civilization, is at stake on November 3rd. Earlier this summer, murders rose by 29% in New York City, 33% in Philadelphia, 53% in Chicago, 133% in Minneapolis. These are all Democrat-run places. These are Democrat-run, I might say radical left Democrat in some cases. But these are people that don't have any clue what they're doing. They have no idea. I don't even think they know that it's bad what's going on. You know, you'd almost say they're trying to defend it. It's incredible to hear them. But that's why I launched Operation Legend, which has led to the arrest of 1,500 criminals since July. And the radical left spent 4 years trying to illegally overturn the last election. They're still trying to overturn Hillary Clinton. Remember the Hillary Clinton, will you honor the election? Right? The results of the election. That was Hillary Clinton. And she should have asked that question to herself. She's like a crazed lunatic. She's a lunatic. She is something, I'll tell you. But somebody said, what's the difference between Clinton and Biden? Should I say? Should I tell you? Well, Clinton's much smarter, but not a likable person. Joe is not nearly as smart, but he's more likable. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'd rather have the smarter person. Who cares about personality, right? But that's the difference. Very simple, isn't it, huh? It's a very simple thing. But that's why we have to win. We have to win. So now the Democrats are planning to permanently alter our political system so their control is never threatened again. They want to pack the court with radical left justices, abolish the filibuster, which frankly, I wish we did it because I said they're going to do it, so we might as well get there first. But I couldn't get a couple of people to go along with me. But, you know, my attitude was Schumer's going to do it. They all said, no, he'll never do that. He'll never do it. Guess what? They're doing it. They're doing it. And as much as we've done more than anybody has ever done in 3.5 years. But you know what? As much as we've done, we would have done more had we done that. Because getting those extra 10 votes was almost impossible with these people. Almost impossible. So I wish we had done it. I wanted to do it, but we had some obstacles. They want to grant mass amnesty for millions of people, and citizenship they want to give to many million illegal aliens, probably about 11 million at least, and they want to abolish voter ID. They want to abolish voter ID. To get into the DNC convention last night, you needed an ID with your picture on it. Now, what does that tell you about? No, to get in last night, a friend of mine was saying, a friend of mine who happened to be there, I said, why were you there? And, no, very political person. But shows me, he said, here's the ID. It's got my picture. It's like the most incredible. It's a disgrace. There's only one reason they don't want voter ID, and that's because they want to cheat. That's all. It cannot be anything else. I mean, you have it on everything. You have it on driver's licenses. You have it on everything, just about. And the only one they don't want it on is a vote, which is your most important. The most important thing you have is your vote, and they don't want it. We have it in some states, Indiana. You know, we have some great, really, voter ID. They want to abolish it where it is and never allow it to happen again. And that's only a bad thing. That's only a bad thing. To everyone in this room, your organization was formed at a time when